Look closely at this masterpiece. The butter is slowly melting into the hot rice, releasing a cloud of savory steam. Watch as the spoon lifts the perfect bite. You can see the fluffy grains and the tender pink salmon coming together. Nothing beats this view. The golden butter spreads across the surface, soaking into every single grain of the hot pilaf. But before it looks like this, it starts here. A raw, pristine salmon fillet, fresh from the cold ocean waters. Notice the reflection on the steel knife. It takes precision and sharpness to prepare seafood of this high quality. To understand the scale, we have to zoom out. This is the massive processing plant located right next to the deep blue sea. Day and night, the heavy trucks arrive at the loading docks. They are carrying tons of fresh harvest ready for processing. Step inside the facility. It is a world of stainless steel, bright lights, and hygiene standards that rival a hospital. The heart of the factory begins to beat. These conveyor belts start moving, ready to transport thousands of fish per hour. Before the work begins, safety comes first. Every worker suits up in full hygiene gear to ensure absolute cleanliness. Part 2. Salmon arrival. It starts with the unload. Thousands of pounds of whole salmon are poured onto the intake line directly from the trucks. The journey begins on the belt. These fish are still whole, moving steadily towards the first stage of preparation. From above, you can see the sheer volume. It is an endless river of silver fish flowing through the factory lines. Hygiene is the priority here. The salmon enter the massive washing tunnel to be blasted by high-pressure water jets. Inside the tunnel, powerful sprays scrub away any dirt or debris, leaving the fish perfectly clean and ready for sorting. Look at that skin now. It is glistening and spotless. This is the level of quality required for premium food products. Now clean, the salmon travels to the sorting area. This is where technology takes over from human hands. Advanced sensors measure the size and weight of every single fish in a millisecond, sorting them automatically. Not every fish makes the cut. The reject bin automatically separates any damaged fish, ensuring only the best move forward. The approved salmon continue their journey. They are uniform in size, which helps in consistent cooking later on. To keep them fresh, the ice cooling system kicks in. Crushed ice rains down to drop the temperature instantly. Precision is key. The digital displays show the internal temperature is kept strictly near the freezing point. Workers keep a close eye on the monitors. Any slight deviation in temperature is corrected immediately by the system. Now prepared and chilled, the salmon enters the most critical zone, the cutting and filleting section. The conveyor turns the corner smoothly. The logistics inside this factory are designed so the fish never stops moving. Part 3. Cutting and filleting. Watch this machine in action. The automated cutter removes the head with a single, clean chop, wasting no meat. The headless fish moves on. The speed of this line is incredible, processing hundreds of fish every few minutes. This is where the magic happens. Filleting blades slice along the spine, separating the meat from the bone perfectly. It is a symphony of automation. Dozens of machines working in parallel to fillet thousands of fish simultaneously. The fillets separate cleanly. You can see the distinct two halves of the fish falling away from the central bone. Get a close look at that texture. The meat is firm, pink, and completely intact thanks to the sharp blades. Bones are the enemy. The automatic deboning machine uses mechanical tweezers to pull out the tiny pin bones. It is a delicate process. The machine has to pull the bone out without tearing the delicate flesh of the salmon. Machines are great, but humans are better. Workers inspect the fillets manually to catch anything the robots missed. With a sharp knife, the worker trims away the excess fat and the belly flap to make the fillet look perfect. The knife skills here are impressive. A single, smooth motion creates a clean, professional edge on the fillet. Now, fully trimmed and deboned, these pristine fillets glide along the conveyor, ready for the final quality check. A high-tech laser scanner reads the structure of the meat, grading the quality based on color and fat content. Only grade A fillets are allowed to pass. They move forward to the cooking area, leaving the raw zone behind. Processing is finished. Now the fillets enter the cooking prep area to be transformed into food. Part 4. Cooking and Steaming. Welcome to the hot zone. This is the interior of the massive industrial steam cooker where the magic happens. Gentle white steam surrounds the fillets. Steam cooking is used because it keeps the fish moist and tender. The control panel monitors the heat. It must be precise. Too hot and it dries out. Too cool and it's raw. Pressure valves release the excess steam with a hiss, maintaining the perfect atmospheric conditions inside the tunnel. Emerging from the other side, the salmon is fully cooked. The color has changed to a beautiful pale pink. Look at the surface. It is flaky and soft. This ensures that every bite in the meal will be delicious. We can't pack hot fish. It immediately enters the cooling tunnel to bring the temperature down safely. This cooling line is long. By the time the fish reaches the end, it will be firm enough to be cut. Giant moisture control fans blow dry air over the salmon to remove excess water before the cutting stage. The automated slicer comes down. It cuts the cooked fillets into specific portion sizes for the meal bowls. See how uniform the cubes are? This machine ensures that every customer gets exactly the same amount of fish. Precision weighing is next. The scale checks the portion. If it's too light, more fish is added automatically. The approved portions move forward. They are now ready to be mixed with the rice in the main kitchen. Stainless steel trays are filled with the salmon chunks. These trays act as a buffer before the final mixing. We leave the salmon line now and move to the heart of the flavor profile, the industrial kitchen. Part 5. Rice and Butter Pilaf. This kitchen is enormous. These aren't normal pots. They are massive industrial kettles capable of feeding thousands. Inside the giant pot, the rice is boiling. The water bubbles vigorously to ensure the grains cook evenly. It's a continuous process. The water and rice dance together until the grains are perfectly fluffy and soft. A large mechanical arm stirs the pot. It moves slowly to agitate the rice without crushing the delicate grains. Zooming in, you can see the quality of the rice. Each grain is separate, white, and cooked to perfection. Now for the flavor bomb. Workers unwrap massive blocks of premium yellow butter on the prep table. The butter goes into the heated pan. Watch as the solid blocks melt down into a pool of liquid gold. The melted butter bubbles and foams. This is the base that will give the pilaf its signature rich taste. The cooked rice is poured into the butter vat. It is a waterfall of white grains meeting the golden liquid. The mixing machine folds the butter into the rice. It ensures every single grain is coated in that savory fat. You can almost smell it through the screen. Steam rises from the buttery rice, carrying a delicious aroma. Here comes the protein. The cooked salmon chunks we prepared earlier are now added to the rice mixture. The mixing must be very gentle now. If the machine spins too fast, the fish will break apart into mush. Automated dispensers sprinkle the secret seasoning blend. Herbs and spices rain down to complete the flavor profile. This is the final product. The pilaf looks oily, rich, and incredibly filling. It is ready for the taste test. The head chef steps in. He takes a sample spoon to check if the flavor meets the brand's high standards. A nod of approval. The seasoning is perfect, the texture is right, the batch is approved for packaging. The pilaf rests for a moment in the holding container, allowing the steam to settle before it is portioned out. The packaging machine kicks into gear. It drops the exact amount of pilaf into the moving plastic trays. For an extra touch of luxury, a final dollop of butter is deposited right on top of the hot rice.